Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So those of you who play Ranger may be running into the error where you cast your Hindering strike ability and it just deals no damage. Well, somebody finally found the actual reason why. And this also helps a lot with the devs to fix it, which will be very soon. We already have word from them. However, until the fix is implemented, there is a bit of a workaround where you can prevent it happening to you. You may have run into this bug, and it's basically when you're right close to your target and you're trying to cast your Hindering Strike, it'll give you the error cast and not actually deal any damage. And you guys may, be experiencing that too all over the place. Against your bosses, in your zones, everywhere. Now, what we can do is show you exactly why. Again, I was not the one to find this out. I'll credit the guy in just a sec. If you're right on top of your enemy, like right here on top of your target, and you go to cast it, it's going to keep doing that. Conjurer Fighter is out of range. You're right on top of them, yet they're out of range. You cast the power, it will go on cooldown. I just have my cooldown set to nothing, and it won't do any damage. However, as soon as you take a step back, no problem. You can keep casting your power and it will deal damage. Alternatively, if you're right on your boss and you're not dealing any damage with your attacks, you can just look away and you will then deal damage. It's based on, the targeting of the enemy, and if you're right on top of them, it won't work. If you play Hunter, this problem might especially be related to when you use Slasher's Mark. Because when you use Slasher's Mark, it puts you like right on the center of the enemy. This is exactly where this bug is happening. You take a step back, and bam, you have no problem casting that anymore. So the workaround is if you use Slasher's Mark and you end up right on top of your enemy, take a step back before you use Hindering Strike. Again, that will be until they actually fix it. This bug shouldn't be as prevalent on Warden, but you might experience it just by chance by ending up right on top of the enemy space that you're trying to target, and then your Hindering Strike casts but does no damage. Now, huge credit to Ramen for finding this out. At least he reported it, and he put a video to reproduce this. And you can watch that for yourself, and ultimately it shows exactly what I just did there, where if you're right on top of your enemy, your Hindering Strike just won't deal any damage. And it's not just to do with Hindering Strike. You also have the problem with the ranged ability Hindering Shot. When you're just out of range, like 80 feet, your Hindering Shot will still cast. You can see it going on cooldown using the charges, but not deal any damage. So it's just how that power as a whole is coded a bit of a mess. But thankfully, we do have words from the devs as a response to this. He does go and thank him, as that's a huge help for them to figure out why it wasn't working properly, to get consistency to reproduce it, so then they can actually go and fix it. So they can much more easily come out with a fix, and they'll be pushing that to the live server ASAP. All they will do is change the activation to never care about having a valid target, and that should just fix it, and that'll be similar to like Steel Breeze and Not So Fast as other examples of those type of powers. So you can look forward to that getting fixed in the near future. But ultimately, the solution, the workaround, is to not be right on top of your enemy when you want to go and cast it, so that you can still deal damage. You won't get that bug, and you should be able to still get the damage. So some good news for your Ranger players, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.